Welcome everyone and thank you for joining us today as we dive deep into one of the most astonishing, unbelievable and conversation-shaking discoveries in the world of modern American coinage, a journey into the mysterious and nearly mythical 2013 D1 cent coin that collectors whisper about, a coin that has captured imaginations, sparked debates, triggered treasure hunts across the country, and gained a reputation for being worth a staggering $12 million due to the combination of bizarre minting anomalies, shocking production defects, and unpredictable die mishaps that transformed an ordinary modern penny into an extraordinary once-in-a-generation rarity that stands as a symbol of how the smallest unexpected errors can turn everyday objects into treasures of immense value. And today we welcome you to explore the vast landscape of possibilities, the intricate technicalities, the compelling narratives, and the layers of numismatic mystery surrounding a coin that was never meant to be famous but unintentionally stepped onto the stage of multimillion-dollar fame. So stay with us as we unravel every dimension of the 2013 D-penny phenomenon, starting from the minting process itself, moving into the realms of die fabrication, planchet preparation, machine alignment, human oversight, metal inconsistencies, error classifications, market psychology, collector obsession, and theoretical possibilities that could justify such an unbelievable price. Because to understand how a simple penny could climb into eight-figure territory, we need to explore every corner of the minting environment, every technical possibility that could create a one-of-a-kind specimen, and every collector mindset that drives value upward when an anomaly is rare enough, iconic enough, and mysterious enough to stand apart from millions upon millions of normal coins. And when we look at 2013 specifically, a year when billions of 1-cent coins flowed out of the Denver Mint, we begin to realize how astonishing it would be for one coin to emerge with such an impossible combination of errors that its survival would make it statistically more improbable than winning multiple lotteries in a row. So the fascination begins with the minting year itself, a year known for high-speed production, tight industrial schedules, and intense coin circulation demands, and in such an environment, coins rush through massive hydraulic presses, die sets must withstand unimaginable pressure. Machines operate at extreme speed, and even the slightest misalignment, microscopic crack, foreign debris, or chemical inconsistency can lead to unexpected results, and when these results are significant enough, dramatic enough, or visually shocking enough, they can evolve from simple mint errors into legendary rarities that skyrocket in value. So when we discuss the theoretical $12 million 2013 D-penny, we are not talking about an ordinary off-center strike or a light die clash, but rather about the possibility of a combination of multiple high-grade, extremely dramatic, spectacularly rare minting mistakes converging into one coin, a coin that may have been struck on the wrong planchet, double-struck with massive rotation, touched by a defective die with deep cracks, or hit with a misaligned die resulting in bold distortions, or perhaps struck on metal that was not copper-plated zinc but another alloy entirely, maybe a foreign planchet left behind in the press during a batch transition, or even a transitional error planchet that never should have existed in that year. And when we analyze the possibilities, we realize that collectors and researchers examine dozens of potential error types that could theoretically explain the enormous valuation, such as broad strikes, saddle strikes, die breaks, retained cuds, shattered dies, clashed dies, tilted strikes, wrong planchet strikes, clipped planchets, laminated planchets, off-metal compositions, experimental alloy leftovers, double dies, triple dies, quadruple dies, die erosion anomalies, rim burr errors, feeder finger scrapes, and countless micro-level mint abnormalities that specialists spend decades cataloging. And when multiple major errors combine on one coin, the result could be so breathtakingly unusual that it becomes effectively one of one, and in the world of coin collecting, one of one equals priceless. And priceless combined with massive public fascination can easily turn into multimillion-dollar valuations. So imagine, for example, a 2013 D-penny accidentally struck on a bronze alloy planchet reminiscent of pre-1982 composition, creating a stark weight difference immediately noticeable to experts. And combine that with a dramatic double strike where the first strike was off-center by 70% and the second strike re-centered the portrait but left ghosting traces of Lincoln's profile in the fields, and then add a die crack from the Denver Mint machinery that stretched across Lincoln's cheek to the rim, forming a bold, jagged raised scar that collectors call a retained cud, and imagine if the reverse die suffered a severe clash, imprinting fragments of the obverse portrait into the shield design, creating surreal overlapping textures, and layer onto that the possibility of die deterioration, doubling on the date, mint mark, and motto, making the numbers and letters appear swollen, distorted, and elongated, and then picture the coin escaping quality inspection entirely. Because the massive Denver production volume meant that inspectors could not feasibly catch every outlier, and then imagine this one coin slipping quietly into circulation or being set aside unknowingly in someone's pocket change jar, waiting for years before someone finally looked closely enough to realize they were holding something extraordinary. And what makes such possibilities so exciting is the idea that error coins do not follow predictable rules, meaning minting accidents can combine in ways no one ever expects, creating coins that even experts struggle to categorize, and these unclassifiable pieces often become the most valuable because they defy explanations, break patterns, and showcase the unpredictability of industrial minting. And when we consider that the Denver Mint has had occasional misalignment issues, metal mixing incidents, and die maintenance challenges documented over the decades, it becomes easier to accept the theoretical possibility of an extreme multi-error coin emerging in 2013, a year where lightning speed production might have allowed a rare sequence of mistakes to slip through, but for a penny to reach $12 million in value, it would require not only extraordinary physical errors but also extraordinary market forces, collector demand, historical significance, and the irresistible storytelling power that surrounds unique errors. And humans naturally gravitate toward mysteries, toward objects that defy expectations, and coins that embody multiple errors become artifacts of chaos, symbols of impossibility, and collectors love nothing more than hunting for the impossible, and when one such impossible coin surfaces, it becomes a trophy piece, something elite collectors might battle for in private auctions, pushing bidding wars into the millions, because the psychology of collecting rare objects is driven by rarity, status, narrative depth, and emotional appeal, and a coin with overwhelming error complexity offers all these in abundance. So the $12 million valuation is not merely about metal or face value but about historical context, minting unpredictability, survival odds, visual shock value, and the unparalleled thrill of owning something that no one else on Earth possesses. And consider the possibility that the coin might also have perfect preservation, graded at the highest scale by professional services, because the combination of extreme error plus mint state preservation can elevate value exponentially, especially if the surfaces are flawless, the details crisp, and the errors dramatically visible, creating a museum-level rarity that would break records, attract international headlines, and become a cultural icon among numismatists. And when you think of how collectors react to even moderately rare double-die coins from earlier generations, the frenzy around a truly extreme 2013 D rarity would be unimaginable, because modern coins rarely exhibit the kind of dramatic mistakes seen in older minting eras, making any modern super error even more desirable, and the story only grows more compelling when we consider how the general public reacts to stories of multi-million-dollar pennies, because these stories ignite curiosity, inspire coin hunts, motivate people to check their pocket change, and create viral excitement that spreads across social media, bringing more attention to the rare coin and increasing its perceived value, and this cycle of attention drives auction prices even higher, because collectors know that public fascination adds long-term prestige to any rarity. So the theoretical $12 million 2013 D penny becomes not only a numismatic treasure but a cultural phenomenon, blending rarity with story, technical complexity with human emotion, and unpredictable accidents with extraordinary financial potential. And when we continue examining the spectrum of error possibilities, we can imagine dozens of combinations that would elevate the coin to such status, such as the coin being struck during a die changeover, when the press temporarily held mismatched dies, producing hybrid strikes where obverse and reverse designs did not belong together, or the possibility of a feeder mechanism malfunction leading to triple planchet stacking, causing multiple impressions and distorted rims, or a catastrophic die explosion leaving the design shattered into chaotic fragments, or a retain struck-through error where a piece of machinery debris impressed itself into the coin's surface, leaving a dr.